Hello! Welcome back to our channel. This is the 8th episode, The Bighorn Blood Wasp, of the story Heart of a Phoenix. And wow, we are plunging straight into the action today. Picture this, all right? Ariana is literally free-falling from a cliff, completely at the mercy of this raging waterfall torrent. She lands smack in the valley lake below, and boom! We are instantly thrown into a desperate life-or-death struggle.
Okay, let's dive into this brutal test of physical endurance. Within seconds of hitting that freezing water, Ariana's forehead violently strikes a giant, hidden rock at the bottom. Ouch, right? She doesn't even have a split second to process the throbbing pain or blink back the tears before this massive whirlpool tries to suck her right under. Running on pure, unadulterated survival instinct, she fights her way back to the surface with everything she's got, dragging herself onto this withered log. She drifts for what feels like hours. She's completely depleted, knowing she's heading dangerously close to the canyon of eternal ice. And trust me, that is a place filled with cold poison that her battered body absolutely cannot handle. Knowing she's got to avoid it at all costs, she nimbly rolls off the log and swims fiercely across that tearing river current. Shivering, pale, soaked to the bone, she finally drags herself onto the bank.
So she's lying there on the shore, gasping for air, surrounded by this gorgeous carpet of colorful, fragrant flowers. She searches the map in her mind, and you guys, her face goes completely pale, because this beautifully fragrant spot, yeah, it's actually the most dangerous place in the entire fourth ring of the frozen forest. She has literally landed right in Bighorn Blood Wasp territory. This is a terrifying realization. We are talking about a gory, horrific nightmare zone where she once saw a fully armed team reduced to a literal pile of bones in under a minute. It's insane. The sheer exhaustion of her watery escape suddenly collides with this terrifying reality. She has to stay completely alert. Resting here, it means a horrific death, plain and simple.
Now, what's really interesting about this situation is the unexpected, almost miraculous opportunity that unfolds. Just as she squirrels herself away in the overgrown roots of an old cottonwood tree, desperately trying to figure out how to slip away unnoticed, she spots a flash of a red robe moving stealthily among the tree trunks. Whoever this incredibly brave soul is, they have somehow managed to lure the massive, deadly swarm of wasps totally away from the hive. For Ariana, this isn't just a stroke of luck, it is a golden ticket. Her faded hope is instantly reignited because the Wasp Queen, the exact incredibly rare ingredient she desperately needs for her spirit restoration tonic, is suddenly left entirely defenseless.
So she initiates this flawless, rapid-fire heist. Even without her spiritual essence, her physical training absolutely shines here. First, she leaps from branch to branch like a flying squirrel, moving completely silently around the hive. Next, on the fly, she quickly knots twigs together to craft a makeshift hook, reaching that hook straight into the hive to snatch the defenseless queen. Boom, got it. But the very second she does, this ear-splitting scream rips through the forest. It's the queen, summoning her lethal subjects. Without missing a single beat, Ariana tosses the queen into the hidden dimension of her dragon and phoenix ring and sprints in the exact opposite direction like her life depends on it, because, well, it does.
Picture her right now. She is hunched down, keeping her breathing shallow, perfectly executing her stealthy escape through the woods. She's almost out of wasp territory. She's almost safe. But right before she can even exhale a tiny sigh of relief, she hears this booming, oblivious greeting from right behind her. "Hey you, what a happy coincidence!" You've got to be kidding me, right? It's Jake Grace. He has the fairest of faces, this infectious, bright smile, and he is completely, utterly ruining her quiet escape. The contrast here is just staggering. You have Ariana in silent, breathless terror, literally fighting for her life, and then there's Jake just strolling up like they ran into each other at a coffee shop on a pleasant afternoon.
But here's the real kicker. Jake didn't come alone. He has accidentally dragged a terrifying threat right to her doorstep. Thousands of Bighorn Blood Wasps. I mean, he is leading a giant, angry swarm right to her. The swarm is so densely packed that it is literally blocking out the light in the forest. Just think about that for a second. After Ariana perfectly maneuvered around the colony to steal the queen, Jake somehow managed to aggravate the entire hive and lead them directly to her location. And these wasps are completely frantic. They are hunting for the unique scent of their stolen queen, a scent which, unfortunately, is currently radiating straight from Ariana.
This whole dynamic gives us an incredibly tense yet kind of darkly comedic chase scene. On one side, we have Jake's mindset. He's breezy, glowing with enthusiasm, casually yelling out things like, "Hey, you're still up and running. I thought you'd be dead by now." Thanks, Jake. And on the other side, Ariana. She is in a state of absolute panic and fiery internal rage. Her internal monologue is just screaming, "Just stay away from me, dude." She's sprinting for her life, desperately ignoring him, trying to keep the swarm from catching up and smelling the queen on her. She's praying Jake somehow develops telepathy to read her furious mind, but nope. The ever-sunny Jake is totally, completely oblivious to her resentment.
And then, believe it or not, it actually gets worse. Jake literally grabs the back of Ariana's dress to physically slow her down. Why? To lecture her that the wasps aren't idiots and won't sting without reason. Well, obviously, the exact moment he slows her down, the wasps catch up. They smell their queen, Ariana starts frantically batting them away as they start stinging her, and Jake, bless his heart, leaps back in surprise and asks this ridiculous question. Why? How strange. Why are they trying to sting you? Oh my gosh. Ariana is internally screaming and rolling her eyes into the back of her head, while Jake hilariously concludes she must just be one of those unlucky people who naturally attracts blood wasps. To hide her high-stakes heist, Ariana just frantically nods along with these wide, panicked eyes, completely agreeing with his totally absurd theory.
Finally realizing his catastrophic mistake, Jake takes action. He smacks his forehead in apology, scoops Ariana right up in one arm, and just unleashes this unbelievable speed. They become an absolute blur. I mean, they're flitting past the trees like a flash of light, executing this lightning-fast escape until they finally outrun the massive swarm. When he puts her down, promising everything's totally fine now, Ariana can't help but notice his incredible physical abilities. She wonders just how much he's grown over the last 10 years. And, a really painful thought crosses her mind. What if Madeline hadn't stolen her true phoenix blood all those years ago? Where would she be now? But she quickly shakes it off and shuts that train of thought down. She has to focus on the immediate reality.
So the crucial point is, why is Jake even here in the frozen forest? Ariana tries to play it cool, playfully suggesting they leave this dangerous place, secretly hoping to pry some info out of him. But Jake just scoffs at the idea. He proudly reveals that he hasn't come alone. Nope, his heavily supported team from Sphinx Academy has traveled thousands of miles for a very specific purpose, and they are not leaving until they get what they came for. Ariana's stomach completely drops as the pieces fall into place. Her solitary, secretive mission for survival is suddenly on a direct collision course with his heavily armed powerhouse team.
It turns out Jake and his buddies are braving the deadly frozen forest for the exact same prize Ariana is desperately hunting for, the immortal spirit fruit. Wow, the stakes for this entire story have just multiplied exponentially. She doesn't just have to survive the harsh elements and the terrifying monsters of the forest anymore, she literally has to beat an elite academy team to her only hope for restoration. So, who will reach the immortal spirit fruit first? We'll just have to wait and see. If you like the story, please like and share it, and subscribe to the channel to watch future episodes. Thanks for watching.